Oh boy, do I have a video for you guys. There was a super heated debate that happened yesterday that was totally through the roof. When I tell you this was crazy, I really mean it because normally when I come away with watching something like an exchange, a debate, a discussion of some sort, or I, read some back and forth on Twitter, I come away with an opinion from it, a strong opinion most of the time. Or I'll have a nuanced opinion and have all these little different details that detail my opinion and sort of explain my opinion. I'm seriously torn on this one. And to give you the backstory of this, basically, this guy Michael Tracey, he's been going on like this gloating tour for a minute about the whole Russia thing, and it's been really, really cringy, by the way. Super, super cringy. There's no other way to assess his gloating tour other than the term cringy. It's the perfect thing ever. And so basically, he calls out Sam Seder, the Majority Report, saying, hey, you brought on this guest. I think her name is Marcy Wheeler. And are you going to apologize because she's essentially the Judith Miller of this situation now? Michael Tracey, as well as other people, have been trying to they've been trying to compare this situation with the WMDs. To try to make like a comparison as to, look at how bad this was in the journalist part. And I guess Judith Miller was someone who was a serious, crazy liar in that situation that had perpetuated the lie. So this gets really heated. When I tell you it's heated, this is the first time. This isn't a clickbait title. I know all my titles are insanely clickbait. This one's not, because it's real. I've never seen Sam Seder this angry even once. I've never seen him curse before, by the way. He curses in this. Prepare yourselves. Now, I can't show you the whole interview because it's hella long, but I'm going to show you the most vital clips. Watch.
Who appointed Robert Mueller? Who appointed Robert Mueller?
Rod Rosenstein. I don't absolve Rod Rosenstein at all. I don't absolve any of these security state officials that Democrats and MSNBC decided that they were in love with over the past 2.5 years because they were convenient foils for Donald Trump. I think it's a total journalistic disgrace.
Do you think
people like John Brennan
the
were
Mueller,
hired by MSNBC?
Michael, listen. This is a very easy question for us to have to start this. To start this, okay?
Go ahead.
The question is, did you think at the time of the investigation, and if it's a different answer from did and do, you can tell me. But did you think it was appropriate to have this to launch this investigation? And if you want to say, do you now, in retrospect, you want to have a different opinion, that's fine too. This is not a gotcha question. This is a question to find out if the underlying thing was a valid thing to have happen.
Sure. I think the underlying thing has now been proven to be a fraud, and it was apparent to me from the very outset. So going back to July of 2016, that it was a fraud.
Okay.
You could see the narrative congeal in real time. You got to let me complete a thought.
Well, you're not answering the question. You're not answering the question, Michael. This is a very easy question because when Glenn was asked this question, when Matt is asked this question, they can answer it without giving an extended. This is a very easy question.
But it's a complicated subject, so I'm giving a little lead up before I fully answer the question, which I guarantee you I will. Now, I always believed that maximum government transparency is optimal. But I was never cheerleading for Robert Mueller because I understood that the entire investigation was predicated on a fraud. Therefore, I didn't think it would uncover anything that related to its core mandate, which was the Trump-Russia conspiracy. So, no, I wasn't going around screaming and chanting and marching in the streets like a lot of liberals and Democrats for Robert Mueller and touting him as this folk hero.
Right.
So no, I was never an advocate for the investigation, but I didn't oppose it.
Okay.
I was agnostic about the investigation.
Okay. So I'm not asking if you cheerleaded for the investigation. I'm not asking if you marched against the investigation. You are a journalist. You are a person who obviously has opinions. Did you think it was appropriate to have the investigation? I mean, if you thought it was a complete and total fraud, you must have been against the investigation from the very beginning, before it was even launched.
Well, I wasn't against the investigation because I always thought that it had the potential to implicate various Trump apparatchiks and, crooks that he surrounds himself with in crimes that are ancillary or unrelated to the core conspiracy charge. So if somebody like Manafort or Roger Stone or somebody got wrapped up in a criminal indictment that stemmed from the original special counsel investigation, I wasn't going to complain about that. I want people who are in positions of power
That's
to be
what
held accountable,
happened.
like Manafort.
Correct, right?
But that's what happened. But the investigation also sparked a tidal wave of conspiratorial frenzy.
Okay,
that
but
pertained
Michael,
to the core,
Michael, you are giving me an answer about retrospect. If you want to say, in retrospect, I regret that I thought there should be an investigation, or are you aware of that? And do you acknowledge that that is the truth?
Well, my attitude towards those emails was that they uncovered genuine corruption and malfeasance.
I understand that, but that's not what I asked you.
Because the resignation of the entire Democratic National Committee.
That is not what I asked you.
Revealed that Bernie Sanders got screwed out of.
That's not what I asked you. Michael,
process.
Why are you being so evasive? Why are you being so fucking evasive here? I invited you on the show because you wanted to malign one of my guests and cry about my inviting someone on my show. And I'm asking you some basic questions, and already 10 minutes into this, you won't even answer the basic question. Do you believe the report that you now tout in its saying that the Russians were interfering in the election by hacking into Hillary Clinton's emails and by their shenanigans on social media? Do you think that is true? Yes or no? Did you know that in July?
I unequivocally reject this notion that election interference, so we're talking about social media posts on Facebook, such as memes of Bernie Sanders, cartoons.
You coward. Answer my question, not some question in your head.
I agree that all those things have been alleged to being carried out by the Russian government, and I agree that it's
Do you agree that the Barr
that
memo that you are saying exonerates Donald Trump, do you agree that that letter, at least, says that they did that?
Yes, that letter does say that, of course.
Okay, so you don't believe that part, but you believe the other part.
Yes.
You think the Barr memo? You think the Barr memo is controlling on the things that you're interested in proving, but not the things that you're not interested in proving?
The thing I'm interested in illustrating is the reason
not
why
illustrating. Michael, you're being so evasive here. It's pathetic. You know what? Honestly, listen. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to invite somebody else on here who has some integrity to talk about this, who shares very similar positions
I'm answering your questions. You're interrupting me after 30 seconds.
Because these are simple yes or no questions. Just so that we can actually have a conversation, and you're dragging this out by 14 minutes.
What's the yes or no question? Ask it again, and I guarantee I'll answer it. I've been trying to answer you as honestly as possible.
Well, the first one is, should there have been an investigation? You claimed you were agnostic about that. Fine, right. That's your answer. If people want to buy that, that's your answer. Do you believe that the Russians hacked into the emails and that they had social media bots and whatnot?
Can you give me 30 seconds to answer the question? I promise I will.
You got 30 seconds.
July of 2018, there was no evidence furnished by any law enforcement authority that the Russians hacked the DNC email.
Damn, son. Damn. Okay. See, when I was listening to that, I was getting uncomfortable watching it. Do you know that feeling where stuff gets so heated where you're just kind of turned off from listening to it? Now, obviously, Sam is extremely triggered for some reason. I think he's triggered because I guess the fact that he went after him about having the guest really, hit him deep, and it really pulled his switch or something like that. And I'm not really sure why, to be honest. That was kind of odd that he was really that angry about this whole situation. Now, the thing is about Michael Tracey and what he was doing he wouldn't answer the basic question in the beginning, so he wasted a shitload of time, a buttload of time, basically wasting his time on that, where Sam is asking him, yo, dog, I guess he says in July of 2016, do you think we should have had this investigation? And here's the thing, there's one important point of evidence, and I've actually been kind of waffling on this whole thing now at this point too, because remember I did that whole Kyle David video, but we haven't seen the Mueller report yet, and now I'm just fuck, I should have waited. Because that's what I've been doing this whole time, been waiting for the Mueller report, and I made that video on the pretenses of the William Barr report low-key regret it, kind of regret it, don't know at this point. But I hate this issue, man, because, I hate both sides of this issue so fucking much. And Sam Seder's not even on one of the sides here. The sides I'm talking about are people like Michael Tracey and the others on the side of the religious belief against their whole Russiagate thing, along with Jimmy Dore and a bunch of other people. And then the other side is like the loony resistance people who are like, Trump is a Manchurian candidate, and like he directly colluded. I fucking hate both sides of these people, man. It's so annoying. So I've been waiting for this Mueller report, and we get this, William Barr report. And the thing that is said in that bill, one of the things said in that Bill Barr report is that indeed the Russians hacked the DNC emails. So the DNC emails dump that we got from WikiLeaks. Now, what that report says is that, yes, indeed, the Russians did hack that. Now, as they brought up a picture, I don't know if I showed you the clip or not, because it was at some point during this pretty lengthy debate. They brought up a picture of a Medium article that Michael Tracey wrote, where he was basically like, there's no hard evidence of Russians hacking. And so I think what Sam is kind of getting at there is like, this investigation was needed because there were a lot of open questions, as well as, you got corrected on something that you previously wouldn't have known. So what that means is, had there not been an investigation, Michael Tracey would still be saying or believing that there was no DNC hack by the Russians. So, listen, man, I don't have a super hard stance on this. I am genuinely befuddled. I really don't know how to break this down to you guys other than it was extremely heated. Michael Tracey was being extremely evasive by wasting time and not answering basic questions. And that, it got out of hand so fast. And I don't know. Let me know. I want to know your thoughts on this down below. Because Sam was really angry, and then Michael was being really evasive. I don't think. See, I don't know, man. I really don't. I'm urged to say, Sam should have been more calm, but then it's true that Michael Tracey was being super evasive, and so if Michael Tracey is being really evasive, you're gonna get pissed. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't know what to tell you guys. Honestly, this is the first time I've seen some shit where I come away from it like, wow, I really don't know my position on this one. So one thing I will tell you for sure is Michael Tracey was being evasive. Also, Sam Seder was angry. But Michael Tracey, keep in mind, this whole report did disprove his, Russians not hacking DNC theory, because as you guys know, as I just told you, the William Barr report said that yes, indeed, the Russians did hack the DNC. So anyways, that's going to conclude my analysis. And by the way, I want to mention this really quick. As I was watching this, I was looking at the live chat, because this was during their show, and they live stream their show every day. And in the chat, there's a bunch of people who are like, can't wait till Progressive Voices video on this. I find that absolutely hilarious. But I'm sorry I don't have a better analysis for you guys. But let me know your thoughts down below. This is insane.